This is about biosensors because I know that 13th Arcturian White Bear Clan Mother Karen Ann Luke McDonald has certainly covered this. I'm not gonna make a large video on this because I don't really need to, because I figure that if I share certain pieces of data or information that I've experienced by reason of why I know I experience it in the relationship to what frequency modulation is, and I'm going to use certain terms that you can plug in, like filling in the spaces, but I don't have to fill in all the other spaces because you can do that with your own library. Yeah. Biosensors. One of the things they know how to do is activate a switch. Okay, now you're experiencing something. Why am I experiencing that? I'm not supposed to experience that because they activated a switch. That's what a biosensor can do. Implants. Okay, now what does that have to do with anything? Targeted individuals by sensing your biofield. Okay, so you realize, and I knew this before coming in here, they can interfere with you that way, right? Okay, so that what it means is they can't, it's called the tracking system, right? So if your flashlight sequence is your non-polarized consciousness, you're one. You're running at the highest speed. If they're not a one, they're not running at the same speed as the first one, the first silver-seeded atom. Yeah? So it would be as if God's in the building and God is running at the highest rate of speed, which means they can't track and activate a switch in God for God to experience something that God's not supposed to experience because God is eternal love. Translate it that way. In order to perform a job, God is going to perform a job because of the level of capacity that God has to correct something, yeah, repair something, do a tech support job as a facilitator. If they're activating switches all the time, you're going to get interfered with all the time because now you're going to experience what they do with their consciousness instead of experiencing what we do with ours, which isn't what they are. That's knowing one from the other. You see how that works? And so this is where you get into, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. Oh, they're going to leave you alone. You know what a seed and a grower is, right? Just like what they did here with experiments, forced abductions, forced feeding experiments. So in other words, they turned the planet into a lab, a Frankenstein lab, right? You want things growing in you that don't belong there? You know what I'm saying? All they had to do is do the transfer of the codes, break through your firewall. Now something's growing in you. Information, right? Holographic information. Wow, look what's in me. It's not supposed to be there, right? Energy, growth, just like when you plant a seed. Hey, watch it grow. Hey, now I can see it in my mirror. Now it's there. Wow, how'd that get there? The energy that generated it. Generating the codes, the software codes, the programming. Now your reality is being programmed to experience something that was programmed to experience in the mirror, right? Now you're into the reaction state. Now we're going to react to what's there. How'd that get there? Right? Programmers. That's what it is. Programmer wars. War gamers. War game theater. Right? Using software. Units of consciousness. Right? At war with each other because we're not at peace with each other. Playing ping pong. Right? You need an opponent to be in a war. So when you're experiencing eternal, pure, absolute love that goes on forever as a source of energy from which it all began to create the first atmosphere, the 7 sun discs, yeah, that's called a firewall. And your firewall is, wow, the spirit of fire, how much fire we got in us. That's our spirit. Yeah. Spirit and energy. Spinning. Yeah. And so I thought I'd share that because Karen talked a lot about biosensors, right? And the importance of those. I remember many years ago looking at, and see, these are not coincidences why I experience information that comes to me in my mirror. But I remember looking at a doctor, for example, that was working in Southern California back in the early 1950s. It was already working on sensors. Okay. And so, you know, it's enlighten you, the things that they do. Oh, well, doesn't that sound like a good idea that you can track a dog or you can track a baby, or you can track somebody to find out what's going on with their physical body, right? Their biofield. Hey, I'm getting the data. Now we're back in the data. They're getting the data. They want the data. They want all the data on everything. So I've mentioned this before because it's true. Control is born out of fear. Full spectrum dominance. What is the opposite of full spectrum dominance of your auric energy field? Full spectrum liberation. Free the spirits, free the souls. That's what cosmic law is. That's why we're here. Have a great day. We love you all. Be good to yourselves.